this is Anna from Savvy Cat Realty, and today I'm here to talk to you about the 6 cheapest neighborhoods in the city of Lisbon. So you of course know that Lisbon is the capital of Portugal, being also the most expensive city in Portugal. So before we start, for those of you who don't know, my name is Ana Caramujo, and I'm the owner of Savvy Cat Realty. Savvy Cat Realty is a relocation investment agency that helps expats move to Portugal in a sustainable way. Our goal is to give as much protection and information to the buyers so they make good, informed decisions that are aligned with the local market prices and avoid inflating the prices. This of course doesn't mean that you have to buy something cheap. It just means that that we try to help you buy something that is well priced for the requirements that you have. We also work from a lifestyle perspective, making sure that you end up in the right location for your own particular needs. And we don't expect our clients and expats in general to know our country well. And so it's a lot easier to work with a local that will be able to point you in the right location according to your own needs. So if this makes sense to you, do check out our website in www.savvycatrealty.com, where we have all of the information listed transparently. We do work with both purchase and rentals, so feel free to check us out. So going into today's topic, the 6 cheapest neighborhoods in the city of Lisbon. So to give you the overall picture, it's of course important to give you the reference of what are actually the most expensive ones too. So I'm going to start there. The most expensive locations in Lisbon are actually Santo Antonio, which is going for almost 7,500 euros per square meter. And then Avenidas Novas, that is going for almost 6,700 euros per square meter. Estrela, Misericórdia, Campo do Urique, and Santa Maria Maior being the 6th one, going at 6,159 euros per square meter. So you can see here that prices ranging from 6,000 to 7,500 euros per square meter on the most expensive regions of Lisbon. So by comparison, the 6 most cheapest neighborhoods of Lisbon are ranging from 4,000 to 4,630 per square meter on average. This is, of course, average data. We are using Idealista as reference, which is one of the biggest listing sites in Portugal. But we also have data from our own semi-MLS system called Casafari that, as a licensed agency, we are able to use. And it does more or less correspond to these values. And it doesn't do this neighborhood division, so it's just easier to use this for reference in this video. So, going from the cheapest to the most expensive of the 6 cheapest areas in Lisbon. So the cheapest neighborhood in Lisbon right now, and this is data from January 2025, is Olivais. So Olivais is the airport region of Lisbon, and it is close to the city. The Lisbon airport is basically within the city of Lisbon. So one of the biggest downsides will of course be the noise and vibration from planes, because you will be right next to the airport and you will definitely be feeling that. The houses in this area are actually not too new. You will see a lot of houses from the 70s, both apartment buildings and townhouse style houses, and lots of them with garden, which can be a good addition. This area does not have a lot of commerce, and it does have metro, being the main metro in that area, the station of Encarnação. So overall, it is a decent area, but it does have its downsides. I would say the biggest one is definitely the planes and the plane noise. That can be very significant in Lisbon, given you do have a lot of air traffic. So going into the next location, that is Carnide. Carnide almost feels like you are out of town, but it's actually in town. It's just on the far back of town, just on the limits. And it has good quality buildings and views because it is in a high ground. And it is actually a pretty good area, so this one is definitely an area that I would recommend when it comes to investment. It also has subway, so overall you have great transportation there. And it does not have that much downsides, to be honest. It's an area that is right now developing. So it can definitely be a very good area if you are looking for an area in Lisbon that it's affordable and still in development. Do keep in mind that the average prices take into consideration everything that is sold. Of course, newer buildings will have a tendency to be more expensive, and older buildings will, of course, have a tendency to be cheaper. So the third cheapest area in the Lisbon area is Marvila. And Marvila is actually priced really, really close to Carnide, being just, 20 euros difference in the average price between them. One of them, the Carnide, is at 4,260 and Marvila is at 4,270. So it's just basically 10 euros difference between them. So overall, price-wise, they are quite similar. But they are fairly different locations, as Marvila is a lot closer to the Lisbon center. It's just on the outskirts of the main town. The main downside of this area is actually that it does not have subway. However, it is, like I said, fairly close to town, and it has this... it is also on a steep, and it has this villa area on the top that is gorgeous. And it's full of these townhouses and little villas and gardens. It really feels like you are outside of town there. And then you have these newer developments that are happening closer down. It also has kind of an industrial area there. So you have a bit of a mixed match. It's all being renovated in that area right now. And it also has this area that used to be kind of a dock area that was renovated into kind of an arts neighborhood. And it also has a lot of nightlife and quirky restaurants. So it can definitely be a very interesting location for investment. The next location that is the fourth cheapest location in the city of Lisbon, the fourth cheapest neighborhood, is Lumiar. Lumiar also has a metro, and it's fairly connected to the most of the city. It is a really, really nice area with a lot of green areas and gardens, and it has a lot of new construction there. That area only started developing more in the late 90s, early 2000s, so it has a lot of new construction, and a lot of new construction still happening. And of course, like I was saying, when it comes to new construction, it will have a tendency to be more expensive. It does have some older neighborhoods, but the majority is, to be honest, new construction. So it is a great location, to be honest, to live in Lisbon. And like I said, with the gardens and everything and metro, it really has everything you need. So if you are looking for a new neighborhood in development that it's very accessible, still within the city of Lisbon, Lumiar can definitely be a great location to look at. It's a lot more affordable than buying in the center of Lisbon. Of course, new property won't be super cheap, but it will be a great quality price and definitely a good investment. Then the fifth cheapest neighborhood in the city of Lisbon is actually Penha de Franca. And Penha de Franca is a very steep area with huge hills, and you can definitely have great views there, but it's a bit of a mixed lot. So it's central. Out of all the locations in this lot of the sixth cheapest neighborhood in Lisbon, Penha de Franca is the most central one, but it's probably the one that it's least pleasant and least safe out of the lot. It has great view because, like I said, it's on top of the hill. It's still a very old area that is in drastic need of renovations. You will find a lot of old buildings, and like I said, it can be not so great when it comes to safety. It does not have metro in the zone itself, but it does have a good transport network with buses and so on. It is a great area because it's in the center of Lisbon and still affordable. Of course, it's being invested in and renovated. So it can be a good area to invest in an older building and renovate it. But do keep in mind that the area, the living-wise, it won't be as great because of the safety. It will be a great investment from an economical perspective, because it definitely will be gaining value, but you should look at it from a long-term perspective, like 5-10 years, and probably 5 is enough. Right now, it's still not the best area to live in. And then the last area that is on the 6 cheapest neighborhoods in Lisbon is Benfica. Benfica is also at the edge of the town, and it's a great area when it comes to commerce. It has a lot of markets, it has a huge shopping mall, it has the Benfica Stadium that is one of the big football teams here in Portugal. So it's very, very lively. And it is an area that has kind of a mix of older construction and some new construction. You will find old construction, but not as old as the Penha de Franca area. It will be like 80s, 90s, a lot of 80s, 90s buildings that probably will need some renovation, but it is a great location to go to buy good quality price if you are willing to renovate. So you can buy an older apartment. This area is mostly apartments. You don't have a lot of townhouses or villas. And if you buy an old apartment and do some minor renovations, and here in Portugal, you basically have 2 types of renovations. The ones that are considered simple renovations in which you don't change areas, walls, sizes of windows, and so on, but you can still change a lot. You can renovate the kitchens, change the floors, isolate the walls, change the windows as long as you don't change the size of them. So you can make an apartment modern and don't need to go through license. And this area is great for this type of investment. And in my personal opinion, this type of investment can be one of with the best return on investment, because this type of works are a lot faster and simpler than constructing yourself, which is honestly a pain here in Portugal. It will take you very long to get the bureaucracy done, and it will value the property drastically. And when you buy something that is already renovated, it is a tricky thing, because more often than not, the renovations were done cheaply, and it generally values a lot more than what was actually spent on it. So from an investment perspective, it's great to buy something that needs this kind of minor renovations and do them themselves. They will value the property drastically, and you will get a great quality price on your investment. This area also has metro, so it really does have everything that you need. You also have some new construction, but it's not the majority of it. So this basically covers everything on the 6 cheapest areas in Lisbon. Let me know if you've ever been there. What are your opinions on these areas? If there is other locations in Lisbon that you think are great for investment or still have good prices in comparison. I hope that this video was useful. We are here every week, so if you find this kind of information useful, do subscribe to our channel. We also have a lot of free information available on our website, www.savvycatrealty.com. And if you agree with the way that we work and our policies, do feel free to reach out to us if you want to move to Portugal and work with locals in a sustainable way. You can contact us directly at contact@savvycatrealty.com. So I hope that I see you all again next week. Bye.